Hey there, you wonderful people, and welcome back to Jurassic World Evolution. It's been a few months actually that I've released the last video on that game, and I have to admit that there was a little bit of a creative blockade, if that makes any sense, for me to go back into the game. So I have basically played everything in the challenge mode and stuff that I could. So I unlocked everything, not really everything to be honest, but I unlocked like everything I needed and every dinosaur and stuff like that. And I was waiting for some updates to come out that potentially increased the creativity of the game, at least for me. And at some point I just found, you know what, I don't want to wait any longer for someone else to help me, I just help myself. And I did something that is not entirely new, but I wanted to bring it to another level. So probably if you've clicked the video, you've seen from the thumbnail already what I did here. So this is only the making of process. If you're interested in this kind of stuff, stay with me, listen a little bit to the hopefully relaxing and hopefully suitable music. I had a little bit of a struggle to find music that is somewhat working for me in terms of this video. However, I also wanted to show you how I created what you saw in the thumbnail already, and I also wanted to show it to you at the end of this episode in real time. I'm gonna jump into the game and show it to you so that you see it in its full glory, how it looks in the game, and that you know, it's not really playable, to be honest. This is mainly because if you would make this playable somehow, you would need to connect this everything with like energy and stuff like that. So this kind of breaks the illusion of the painting. I just want to call it painting or whatever, or illustration. And it's not really illustration, it's more like a painting. However, the main goal about this was to create something unique looking from the aerial view, like I have done month ago, actually a year ago or something, where I built the Jurassic World Evolution, or just the Jurassic Park logo, out of the pathing only. So this was not something that worked with a combination of different things. I only used the path to create the logo of Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, whatever. The problem about that is I think it's kind of overused. People have done that multiple times. I think back then it didn't really got recognized at all, I guess. The video doesn't really have that many views, to be honest. It just floats somewhere in my YouTube library, and nobody really cared about it. But somehow this was really in the first week or so of Jurassic World. This was one of my very first creations in the game. And it was until recently where I found out that people are building with the path of various layouts of like logos and stuff in the forums, and on Reddit I saw it, and I was like, you know what, there's more potential in it, there's even more in it, so let me just try out how far we can go with the in-game things to create something that is looking good from the aerial view and makes up for the lack of creative items in the game. So basically I just looked into what do we have at hand to build something that looks like a dinosaur. And for those of you who might not know exactly which kind of dinosaur I'm gonna recreating, which would be hilarious, but however, this is the pose from the T-Rex from the very first Jurassic Park movie, when it is in the she's in the Hammond Creation Center and in the Welcom Center, and she's roaring in this room whilst the Jurassic World Evolution, no, it's the Jurassic Park flag actually falling down, which was saying, I guess it was saying, dinosaurs once ruled the world, which is for me still a very amazing moment of cinematography, if that's even a word. However, in movie history, whatnot, I think it's cinematography, whatever, you know what I mean, hopefully. But yeah, so this is what I wanted to achieve here as well. So taking this very unique and very iconic scene of one of the Jurassic Park films and resemble it. So I think in the end it kind of worked out. I'm just quite happy with the end result, because I know what the potential is, how far I could go, and you know, there is definitely a lack of tools to make this really look awesome. It looks decent, but you know, I can't really measure anything in the game. There's like no unit I can use to measure things. Obviously I could just take, for example, always the same viewing galleries and just put them next to each other, and kind of, I think there are also some measurements online how big and tall they are, so that I kind of at least get the proportions right. But actually, you know what, I just did it out of my mind. It was pretty much way more easy than just trying to exactly copy it. This is kind of, I call it like the freedom of creativity here. I don't know, I'm just searching for an argument why I didn't do that completely accurately, because I was too lazy, because I don't think it's worth the effort. But yeah, here you can see I'm also trying to play a little bit with shadows, so this obviously only works in the normal daytime mode, but I thought it would be a cool idea to work with different versions of the fencing, because the fencing has different levels of shadow. So this is giving you some more depth in terms of what you can achieve with the line. So the line appears thicker from above, and so the original very small and easy first fence you get in the game, like the most cheap one, looks very thin, because it doesn't really have too much depth, so it doesn't really cast too many shadows, while obviously the concrete wall completely blocks off the light, so it creates a thick shadow, and this makes up for a thicker line. So this is the idea about using various different fences here. So I thought, okay, fences are a tool, obviously, water is a tool, the brush, like with trees and shrubs, is a tool. However, I ended up with only using the shrubs, because the trees are too big, actually. Like, they're too tall, they're casting too much shadows, so it doesn't really create a nice look to it. And yeah, you can see pretty much now it's actually shaping up. I'm trying various things here, like I was doing a little bit of trial and error with the forest, if I can get any forest, and because the original plan was obviously to get some dinosaurs in the end. You will see that in the real-time part at the end of this video. I have some dinos in, because I also had the idea maybe I could make moving things, like if there are enough dinosaurs in, it could appear moving, like for example, having an eye where like dinosaurs are moving in could give it like a little bit of motion, but this really didn't work out that well. And yeah, I also created like I tried to create at least a forest around, but I also figured that's not really a thing I like, because it takes away from the nice idea. And I thought, okay, maybe use the forest to kind of write a font in here, which didn't really work out that well. I tried to make kind of a little bit of a swooping line that kind of creates something else, but it didn't really work out. So it was a little bit trial and error. I just left that all in the video, because it was pretty much like a one-shot recording here. I tested a few things in before, so in advance I didn't really start off right from scratch. I tried some variations with fencing and stuff like that, just to make sure that I get the hang of it again, because as I said, I was a little bit longer ago that I played the game recently, so yeah, I needed to get the hang of it again. But yeah, you can see I'm then going into to make a little bit of a font. I wanted to make the little word raw in the back of this wonderful drawing, painting, whatever you want to call it, from our T-Rex friend. This is, you know, this is you can't make any noises, right? I mean, I can sit down here and just raw into my microphone and just pretend this would be the one, but to give it a bit more motion, a bit more yeah, kind of make it feel more alive, I thought this would be a great idea to have a font here stating raw. This gives the whole thing a bit more depth, a bit more life. I don't know if you agree, but I do at least, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, I was struggling a little bit with the pass because I didn't find the right way to do it, because I wanted also to create it like a little bit of a 3D font. You will see that in a second, once I'm going into to create a second layer to the font that makes it appear a little bit more 3D. I thought it would be fitting, because the dino, I think it, in terms of a comic version of the T-Rex, this looks awesome. It's realistically seen not perfect, because I'm simply lacking some of the things. I pretty much think that the head of the T-Rex is very great. I think there's not much more room for improvements here, but definitely the body at least the body ratio, like the proportions, are absolutely not correct, but I couldn't really do too much about it since the park was pretty much, yeah, too small, which sounds hilarious considering this is Isla Nubla, but it was too small. However, we are reaching the end of this episode, at least in terms of the time-lapse, and yeah, I'll see you in a few seconds then in the real-time part where I'm going to show this to you in action. And now it's time for you also to jump into the comments and maybe send me some other themes of Jurassic World or Jurassic Park that are pretty much iconic, and I'm trying to gonna recreate that in the future as well, because I'm trying to establish this as a little mini series here, which is called Jurassic Art. However, see you in the real-time part in a second. Alright, here we are in the live part, or in the in-game part, however you want to call it. I still struggle with the naming of what this actually is. Is it in real time? I guess this is what you want to call it. However, you can see this is now how it looks in-game and how it looks finished. As I said, I put some dinosaurs in, and whoops, why are you roaming around here, my lovely Huangosaurus? Well, I have no idea actually, since I have also deleted all the facilities which I had over here. Oh, let me just quickly, where is the water? There we go. Let's just get away with this one and bring that to a normal area again. So yeah, this is how it looks, and yeah, I put some dinosaurs in, but yeah, my idea was that it looked a little bit better. The problem is that we do not have any forests in here, which is due to the fact that I didn't really know how to make this look nice, because you can really see how much shadows the forests are casting. So this is really something that would destroy the looks of this dinosaur. So the only idea I would have is like to put a lot of herbivores in that don't really need that many trees. In fact, that kind of live in, you know, just these very free areas. I don't know, maybe some Gallimimus and also these Parasaurolophus, but oh no, these are Centosaurus. I'm so sorry. I thought, okay, I just wasn't looking carefully enough. Do we have Parasaurolophus in here? Yes, we do. There we go. There's one Chesmosaur. You know, I just throw them in, but it's nothing worth to mention because it didn't really work out the way I wanted. And to make this really crowdy, I would have needed to make a lot more and put them in here. I don't even know who is ill. Okay, these are all ill. This is not a good thing because we do not have a ranger team to be able to kind of heal them. And yeah, now we have low health, so we're gonna have some dead dinosaurs. Oh my god, why? I just wanted to delete this one. Okay, I'm just such a dumb person. Let me just close off that fence again. Here we go. But yeah, this is how the T-Rex looks in game, and from every position. So you know, this is how the park looks. It's definitely looking good, I guess. It's definitely making up for what I wanted. It's definitely yeah, kind of a creation that I do like, but I am not 100% happy with how this is usable as an enclosure. So there is potentially more room to make an enclosure. I don't know if we could play in the future, if you guys come up with an idea what I could do next. How we can incorporate like viewing galleries and stuff so that this is part of the drawing itself or part of the painting itself, because at the moment it kind of lacks the possibility to really play it the way it is meant to be. So we actually would need to have like some viewing platforms here and there to make people and guests come into the park, which we are not able to do right now. Yeah, it's a little bit of a shame, I have to admit. Can we also, by the way, is this, yeah, here we go. And oops, I'm just flying around. I didn't want to do that, but you know, how can I let me just move the view field. There we go. And now let's create a little bit of rotation. There we go. Let's make a screenshot of this one. Here we go. And let me just, no, this is why is it all German? I don't know why. We should be able also to, okay, this is rotating. Okay, I know, but we should be able also to, I don't know how this is really working to make free moving. I guess there's somewhere a possibility to fly and move the camera completely free. No idea, to be honest, how this works. I don't even use this too often. Ah, but this looks super. Oopsie, come on. Yeah, that looks awesome. But I still want to make sure that this is, whoops, there we go. A nice look of this one. Can we? Okay. Field of view is kind of. I have to be somewhat possible to move this completely free. Not really possible though. I have no clue what's going on. Well, let's. Whoops, man! I'm so used to the controls of Planet Coaster that I'm always trying to go up and down with the E and Q key, but it doesn't really work. Okay. Okay, this is all working just fine, but I have no idea. Nope, I don't want to do this. However, let's just do another screenshot here and then leave this mode, because I have no idea what exactly this has to do with the shield functionality of NVIDIA. I have no idea. Somehow I need to move around. I always see that with Best in Slot, he's always using it, but I have still not figured out how to move freely in this mode. Basically, I feel it's just a button I have to press, but yeah, I could easily Google it, but I'm too lazy. So, yeah, I think there's not much more to say about that, since this is the enclosure, this is how it looks. I am willing to do more of it in the future, but for the moment, this is how the T-Rex enclosure painting Jurassic Art looks, and I hope you enjoyed this little Jurassic World Evolution art video, which is not entirely a Jurassic World Evolution gameplay, I would say, but still it's something I hope that you guys will enjoy. And yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you did enjoy and what you want to see next time. So until then, have a great day and see you next time. Bye bye.